Have a name for the new Spider-Man 3 movie coming out this Christmas. It's going to be called Spider-Man No Way Home. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to WeSibs, West Coast, East Coast Siblings, where we break down your favorite movies and TV shows. Today, we are talking the new Spider-Man teaser video that revealed the title of the movie. And also, there's some news with Blade. He possibly is not getting a rated R movie, and a lot of people are angry about it. Before we get started, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell so that you don't miss as we cover your favorite movies and TV shows. Now, let's get into this trailer. So, as you already saw the title card here, Spider-Man No Way Home. But what's more significant is what was actually confirmed with the whiteboard that we see. Now, there was a scene where you had Tom Holland, Zendaya, and the third character, I'm forgetting his name, the Spider-Man's guy in the chair. They were coming out of John Watts' room, I guess, discussing the story or something about Spider-Man. And they're worried about Tom spoiling it. And Tom's like, oh, name one example. I never spoil anything. And they're saying that as they walk by the title, this whiteboard that says Spider-Man No Way Home. But what's more important here is what you see right above Spider. What does that say right up there in the upper left? Homeworlds. This was a major title that had been thrown around and possibly leaked, talking about the possible title for Spider-Man, what we know now as No Way Home. Spider-Man Homeworlds. This basically confirms that this will be a multiverse story. Now, we had heard for months and months now that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were going to be joining Tom Holland in this new Spider-Man movie, this new Spider-Man outing. Sony had always wanted to do a multiverse story in live action. We saw with Into the Spider-Verse that it was a huge success, and so they didn't waste any time bringing this to the movie screen. So they teamed up with Marvel. And, with the villains and the characters, why reinvent the wheel? Those Spider-Man movies are pretty iconic. Even the Andrew Garfield one, which seems to be the least favorite of everybody's favorite Spider-Man movies, we still very vividly remember the villains, the characters from those stories. So why not just bring them back in? They can play different roles. Spider-Verse is obviously a great concept. It worked very well with Into the Spider-Verse, which was one of the most popular Spider-Man movies of all time. So, this really does confirm what we had speculated for a long time now. So they wanted people to dissect this. So we also have Spider-Man webcamming. Keep it PG, as obviously in the world of Zoom now, you got to keep things PG. We have Spider-Man Home Alone. If you look to the bottom of that, that's pretty funny, but they say copyright issues. So obviously, Macaulay Culkin's Home Alone movie, they were going to run into a whole bunch of trouble. But I think the No Way Home works. If not Homeworlds, which is just a little too on the nose, Spider-Man No Way Home works just as fine, but certainly not Home Alone, as it doesn't make that much sense for what the story is, and also, right, obviously, copyright issues. So we have Spider-Man Homemade, which it's just weird. It says too cutesy on there. Spider-Man Home Run, which again, it's like, what's the reference here? Spider-Man Homesick? I think that hits a little too close to home with the recent year we've been having. Spider-Man Stay at Home, and then they just say stop, right? So we're obviously getting into more jargon and lingo associated with the pandemic. Spider-Man Stay at Home, webcamming, all these things. So obviously this is something that's on people's mind. And what it makes me think, because this is such a prominent thing on this whiteboard, is that something that they're going to address? Will this movie be taking place during some kind of quarantine of some sort to kind of mirror what's happening in the real world right now? Who knows? But there's certainly a lot of pandemic-related things. I think one of them says Spider-Man Wanna Go Home. So again, similar to Homeworlds. So many. Spider-Man Work From Home, more pandemic-related stuff. Spider-Man Home Sweet Home. So just a whole bunch of titles here as I'm just looking at it. But obviously the one that stood out the most was Spider-Man Homeworlds, because it does confirm that major part of the movie that we've been speculating about for a long time. And I think Marvel and Disney, they've been happy to let everyone speculate, but it wasn't really something that they're going to have to announce because they know everybody knows it. So they just kind of said, yeah, you're right. Real quickly, again, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment before we get into Blade. and Deadpool. So here's what's going on with that. Kevin Feige said that the Blade movie is going to be likely PG-13, and a whole bunch of fans are upset about this because Blade, at least the Wesley Snipes version, is rated R, and the comics are very graphic. So, and not only graphic, but they're also darker in tone. So if you have Deadpool, which is a lighthearted character, although graphic, it's lighthearted in tone. Blade is graphic and dark in tone. So they're taking the Deadpool movie here and they're allowing that to be rated R, Disney's rated R movie. But Blade, Wesley Snipes, and Wesley Snipes is not returning as Blade as far as we know. That's going to be PG-13. And it kind of boggles the mind, and I think that's why a lot of people are upset about it. But I'll tell you what, I don't think this is going to happen. I think Blade will absolutely be rated R. Don't you worry. And this is made obvious in the language that they use. Remember, these companies, they word everything so carefully. And they said it will likely be PG-13. And I think what they're doing here is they're just trying to gauge the audience. They want to see what the reaction from people and fans is going to be so that they can say, no, we're just kidding. It's going to be rated R. And it's just such an obvious outrage point. Like, if you're doing Deadpool rated R, you have to do Blade rated R. But perhaps it could have been that they wanted Blade to play a more prominent role in the MCU and therefore did not want to associate him that much with the rated R crowd because he'd be playing a more prominent role. Who knows? That's neither here nor there. Obviously, there's a huge vacuum left with the passing of Chadwick Boseman as the Black Panther. So if they're looking to replace him as an African American, spot on the team, then Blade is probably somebody that they might want to feature prominently. But who knows? That's just something that we can only speculate about for now. But I would not worry about it at all. I think Blade is definitely going to be rated R. So, guys, that's a quick update on Spider-Man No Way Home. We just got the new title announced today. So let me know in the comments what you think of it, if you like it, or if you preferred Homeworlds or any of the other names that were there on that whiteboard. As always, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell so that you don't miss an episode as we cover your favorite movies and TV shows. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.